Every single day, back-end developers and cybersecurity analysts run thousands of tests to build, iterate, and secure login systems. It is an intense, repetitive process requiring constant validation of authentication flows. To save time during these checks, developers frequently take a massive operational shortcut. They copy raw, plain text test passwords and paste them directly into generic, cloud-based hashing websites. Those online tools process inputs on remote servers. This means whoever controls that server can silently log your keystrokes, intercepting your API calls and harvesting your test credentials without triggering any alarms. The moment you hit generate on a cloud tool, your raw password leaves the protection of your local machine, travels exposed across the public internet, and lands in a completely unknown database. Exposing any part of a back-end authentication structure creates a massive vulnerability. To close this loophole entirely, the industry requires a testing environment where zero data ever leaves the device. The Prime Tool Hub Bcrypt generator is engineered specifically to eliminate that network risk. It relies on a 100% offline, client-side JavaScript engine. Everything happens entirely within your local browser memory. There is zero server latency, no API calls to trace, and no internet data transmitted. Before heavy calculation begins, the algorithm appends a random 22-character salt to the plaintext password. Because this generation happens every time, identical passwords produce completely unique composite blocks. Once salted, the string hits the cost factor, dictating the mathematical iterations executed on that new block. The formula is exponential. Tuning the slider to an industry-standard cost of 10 or 12 forces the system to run over 1,000 iterative loops, deliberately slowing down the computation process to build a mathematical wall. This localized, intentional delay is the exact mechanism that physically protects stolen databases. A hacker attempting to guess passwords via brute force is choked by the required computation time, turning what should take seconds into centuries. Beyond generating hashes, developers need to inspect complex database strings on the fly. For this, the Prime tool suite includes a live hash analyzer. This visual represents the analyzer breaking down a standard string into its readable components, isolating the algorithm version identifier, the cost factor, the 22-character salt, and finally, the resulting ciphertext. For server architects who need to populate test environments, the tool features a bulk generation mode. You can process up to 50 passwords simultaneously, with strict local hardware limits ensuring your browser doesn't freeze under the immense computational weight. Verifying an existing password presents a unique mathematical challenge. Because Bcrypt attaches a new random salt during every generation, you cannot verify a login by simply hashing the plaintext a second time and hoping the two outputs match. This animation illustrates the actual verification protocol. The tool extracts the original salt directly from the stored hash string, applies it to the fresh plaintext input, and computes a localized match check. This strict process of client-side extraction and comparison perfectly mirrors the secure authentication flows dictated by modern production environments. By combining all these functions, developers gain an entirely isolated zero-trust sandbox. The public internet is cut completely out of the equation. Operating in this offline architecture means you can maintain a high-speed flow state, generating and verifying cryptographic signatures instantly without sacrificing an ounce of system security. The entire suite is built for immediate access. There are zero friction points, absolutely no signups, requires no registrations, and no paywalls blocking your workflow. The convenience of pasting raw credential data into random search results is a liability no security analyst can afford to keep making. Start locking down your authentication testing today. Visit Prime Tool Hub to utilize the free 100% offline Bcrypt suite.